There's no position more heavily scrutinized than quarterback. As the season approaches, there are a few top teams still figuring out who will start behind center. At the top of that list, national champion Alabama. The Crimson Tide once again has a roster full of potential All-Americans, and wide receiver Calvin Ridley is one of the headliners.
I'm fast. I'm just like an all-over guy, can do it all.
He's electric. Anytime he touches the ball, he can score a touchdown.
But who will be throwing Ridley the ball? Among the names Nick Saban is considering, redshirt freshman Blake Barnett, whom we met a couple of years ago in Southern California.
I would say I'm a pocket passer with the ability to extend the play. I say that I pass first, and then if need be, I can run the ball as well.
As a senior at Santiago High School, Blake saw his stock steadily rise to the point that he was a 5-star prospect and an All-American.
When you have the character match the talent, or the work ethic match the talent, that's really, it's far and few between. And I think when you've got that combination, it really makes for something special. And you know, Blake's obviously got a gift, and some of it may be genetics and whatever, but I think really more importantly is what people don't see is just the incredible work ethic this young man has.
His hard work paid off when he was named the MVP at the Elite 11 in the summer before his senior season. And guess which wide receiver also hauled in MVP honors after catching a lot of passes from Blake? That's right, Calvin Ridley. It's probably just a matter of time before Barnett and Ridley are connecting for touchdowns again. But Alabama's starter for this season may be the more experienced Cooper Bateman. A product of Cottonwood High School in Utah, Bateman was one of the nation's top high school prospects in 2013.
Things they've said to me that they like is, my poise in the pocket, the way I handle myself out on the field. That's always been important to me. When you're the quarterback, you're the leader of that team. Guys are looking up to you, and you can never have your head down.
Nick Saban has some other quarterbacks to consider as well, but he still has some time before Alabama opens the season against USC. Speaking of Trojans, they have a quarterback battle of their own to figure out. It may finally be Max Browne's turn to shine. The redshirt junior has patiently waited as a backup since joining the team in 2013, but he came to USC with an impressive resume. Browne was a 2-time state player of the year at Washington Power's Skyline High School, and he was a Gatorade National Player of the Year in his senior season.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I always dreamed of being the Skyline quarterback since I was a little kid, and so to go out my senior year, we wanted to go out the right way, and we did that, going 14-0, winning a state title, and then fortunately enough, I was able to get the Gatorade Player of the Year award. But that's the type of award that you don't get without playing a lot of games and getting a lot of reps and stuff like that. So I've had great teammates there, and I wouldn't have changed that experience for the world.
If Browne is named the starter for the season opener, it will be an odd coincidence that the coach who signed him at USC, Lane Kiffin, will be watching from the opposing sideline. We'll stay in the Pac-12 and head to Stanford. We know about Christian McCaffrey, but who will hand him the ball now that Kevin Hogan has graduated? Ryan Burns and Keller Chryst are the two most likely candidates to take over. Burns, a senior, was on this show 4 years ago when he was an All-American at Stonebridge High School in Leesburg, Virginia.
So I remember doing an interview back in, after my freshman year, and I just told the guy, my dream school was probably Stanford. I didn't even think that was probably possible back then, but by far a dream come true. When it comes to when I actually committed to Stanford. So
Burns' top competition for the starting job is junior Keller Chryst, who played his high school ball right across the street from Stanford at Palo Alto High School.
I liked Stanford when Coach Harbaugh was there. My dad's always known him, and then, just going on Stanford games just casually every Saturday. It wasn't where it was at that really swayed me. It was, the school, the academics, the great football program that they've built the last few years there, and it's just. It's a great location despite where I'm living right across the street.
Stanford has recruited a quarterback position as well as any school in the country over the last 10 years. And this season, these two rising QBs will get to prove that. Going back to the SEC, the quarterback job at Georgia may end up going to a true freshman. Jacob Eason was the Gatorade National Player of the Year last season. He rewrote the record books at Lake Stevens High School in Washington.
I'm more the pro-style quarterback, obviously, and I can make the throws that are necessary to make the downfield throws, the intermediate throws. I like, standing in the pocket and just going through my reads and making that throw rather than running around. And making the crazy play. I like to make the easy play.
After getting a glimpse of Jacob's potential as a freshman, Coach Try knew he had to add more passing to his traditionally run-based offense.
We went to a run-pass option, so no longer are we a read zone team, and Jake's been doing that since his sophomore year. So he's been doing it for 2 years now, and we've had a lot of success.
Tony Eason played wide receiver at Notre Dame and now coaches receivers at Lake Stevens. Once he saw how promising of an athlete Jacob was, Tony used his experience and resources to learn how to develop a young quarterback.
I studied film. I dove into it as far as what's a good, perfect delivery. What about the hip rotation? Where's the arm come out? And from that, because I knew at an early age Jacob was talented. As a dad, I felt the responsibility that God blessed this kid with talent. And it's my responsibility to figure out how I'm going to develop it.
Even if he isn't named the starter right away at Georgia, it's highly likely he'll be the guy that new head coach Kirby Smart builds the program around.